I used to listen to the Curios Cast every week. I would see that notification when I woke up on a Tuesday morning, and I couldn't wait to listen to my favorite podcast. It made me smile, it made me laugh, and it made me feel like there were other people out there just like me.
They were just so funny, you know. Like, I would be laughing to myself on the bus, or wherever I was, and I would listen every week. But then sometimes they would just not be there. What happened? Where are they? What happened to the Curios Cast?
I don't know what happened. It was all so good. Then gradually the uploads became less and less frequent. Sometimes it would be months before I could listen to them again. And every time they came back, they would say, "It's different this time, and we won't leave you again, I promise." What a fool I was. I would give anything for the Curios Cast to come back with weekly episodes.
All we can do is hope that one day we'll get to listen to them again. God, I miss those guys.
I've tried listening to other podcasts, but it's just not the same. I can't explain it. They're just different.
A wise man once told me, listen to the Curios Cast. They have a new episode every week. That's the last time I listened to an old person.
Every night I dream that the Curios Cast has uploaded a new episode. And every morning I wake up to the sad reality that there's no episode this week.
They've actually given me trust issues. They're always like, we're back for good this time, but then they go, can we actually believe them this time?
What happened to the Curios Cast?
What happened to the Curios Cast?
What happened to the Curios Cast?
What happened to the
What
Curios
happened to the
Cast?
Curios Cast?
What happened to the Curios Cast?
Will the Curios Cast ever come back?
Have you people not heard the news? They changed their name. They're called Curio now.
Curio? Oh my god.
Curio? Curio?
Curio?
Curio?
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go listen to Curio.
Curio, yes. Welcome to Curio, your weekly podcast for weird news, topics, and such. It's a brand new thing. It's so different to maybe past podcasts like the Curios Cast that you might have listened to.
Oh, shit.
Get rid of that. Yeah, you thought we were gone. We're not. For now. Yeah, a weird news episode. How does it feel, guys, to have a slightly different name?
I feel
below
so
us?
radical.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, everything about it's different. George has got a big beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we do Curio, like Curio has George with a beard. Curio's Cast, it was a lesser beard.
Lesser beard, yeah.
That's
Lesser
it.
spotted
so
beard.
drastic difference, yeah. Tom has some acoustic treatment in his room.
Yes. Yeah, some professional grade equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, this rebrand cost us our entire budget. So yeah.
You do have a new,
no
you do have a
studio
new
updates.
non-squeaky arm, though.
Oh yeah, I can move my
guy.
mic now without it.
I'm just that.
Yeah,
I can move
still
mine as
keep-
well. Like that.
I still keep thinking that a mic is going to make like an awful squeaking sound every time I move it, so I'm like really hesitant and careful when I do it. But
I missed that. I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Don't worry, listeners. The old Curios Cast ironing board is still in my recording room, so that might make an appearance now we're Curio. The old habits, they don't die.
I'm going to say Curios Cast so often,
100%,
but
yeah.
out of habit. Yeah.
We're a huge award-winning podcast, so we need to move with the times.
So, moving with the times, let's do exactly what we've done for the past 4 or 5 years and read out some weird news stories. Do either of you want to go first?
Well, I was telling Rob that I haven't actually got a weird news story. I've got a weird thing.
Okay.
So it sort of ties in with. Do you remember we did the? I think it was probably a couple of years ago now. We did the medical oddities special.
Yeah.
Where we spoke about. I think we spoke about that guy could eat loads of stuff. Didn't he eat
Terrare.
babies and shit? That was it, Terrare.
Terrare, yeah.
I forget what else we spoke about.
You spoke about the botfly woman or something. There's like no. Someone mentioned a botfly thing.
I
then
probably
Rob
mentioned
started
bot
talking
flies.
about.
I'm a fan of bot flies.
Yeah, you got a song about botflies or something, didn't you?
I did. Bot the parasitic larvae of the botfly.
Yeah.
And
I think there was someone who had like,
we almost named our band Bot Fife.
that was it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
George, you spoke about a toxic woman.
Ah, yeah, Gloria Ramirez. Yeah. But this isn't about Gloria Ramirez, but it is like a weird medical oddity. This, and I don't know why. If I'd have known about this definitely would have been my inclusion, because it involves poo. It involves something weird.
Yeah.
So it's it's definitely Curio. It's Curios Cast, and it's definitely Curio as well. But no, this is the story of the Balloon Man. Have you heard of the Balloon Man?
No, but it's funny you say that, because I was doing the washing up and I don't know what I said first, but I just said, Alexa, play the song Mystery Balloon. I just thought I was going to say like some stuff and see if it plays a song of it, and there was a song called like Mysterious Balloon, and it was really good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
You just like random word generated to Alexa to see if it
Yeah.
had a good song.
I did one before that, and I said, "Your dad's a cunt." I tried that first. That wasn't a song.
I'm surprised, actually.
Yeah, I kind of thought it might be. Yeah. And then, but Mystery Balloon, it was. I don't think it was Mystery Balloon. It was like the Mysterious Balloon. I feel like it was like a soundtrack to a Bollywood film or something. But I fucking, it was sick.
Yeah,
I'll send you a link. Yeah,
thoroughly recommend.
Highly recommend.
And you can do a rendition of it for the outro. Yeah. We do that every episode now on Curio. Tell us about the Balloon Man, George.
Yeah, so this isn't a Bollywood soundtrack, unfortunately. This is about a man called the Balloon Man. So this was from a guy that was from the early 1900s called, he's known as JW. His full name has never really been known. But he had an uncomfortable problem that doctors didn't know how to fix. He had what is now known as Hirschsprung's disease, which is otherwise known as a congenital aganglionic megacolon, a megacolon. So it might give you a hint as to what was going on. So,
you've heard of semicolons, but have you heard of megacolons?
So the long and short of it is that JW had a massive, massive colon. And he could go for up to a month without doing a poo. Because he was just continually...
So it was just all stored in there?
It was just all stored in there, yeah. So he just had chronic constipation.
Wouldn't you just have like... And then he just did one massive month worth of shit.
So this is it, yeah. So
it's like an episode of South Park.
Yeah, say 10 Curix. Was this guy Pono's dad?
It might have been, yeah. This might have been where it's based on, I'm not sure. But so apparently he had some problems from birth, and by age 2, he was constipated often. His stomach eventually swelled up, and he had very irregular bowel movements. And eventually his abdomen became permanently bloated. And by the time he reached teenagehood, he could go a month between bowel movements, which is mental. Fecal matter was accumulating in his bowels, but JW had no way to relieve his chronic constipation. When he visited doctors, they told him that he didn't have a tumour. However, surgeries in the 1800s were still considered too risky for the young patient. So I guess he thought that there was something blocking all of his poo, but it didn't appear to be the case.
So is it like you can't have a shit until your colon's full? Is that the deal?
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
It just hasn't worked its way to the end. It needs to be pushed down there.
It needs to be, yeah.
Yeah, so it does say on here that disorder that he's got, it occurs when there are no ganglia in the distal colon. And ganglia are a type of nerve cell. And without them, the colon is unable to move waste through the intestines into the rectum.
So it's like it doesn't know there's shit in there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like your body detects the shit with all the nerves and is like, oh, let's do the thing that we're supposed to do. But the body's just like, nothing here.
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah. So, with like many, obviously people back in the day that had weird things, he eventually joined like a freak show, like a dime museum, they called it. And this is where he got the... What's funny about that?
What a shit freak. Just like, this guy hasn't had a shit. You won't guess how long for.
No. So the reason he joined is because his stomach was massive.
His big stomach, like the pregnant man.
So let me put a photo in the chat so you can at least see why he was in the freak show.
Believe me, he hasn't had a shit.
Yeah.
He might have a shit tonight. You never know.
Well, the thing is, I don't know whether the fact that he didn't have a shit for like a month was the reason he was in the, was in the freak show. I think it was more just the fact he had a massive belly, like you can see in that.
Where have you put the picture?
It's in the in this chat here. You might have to scroll down a little bit. But
live stream chat.
Eventually, so obviously, it was in this dime museum or a freak show. And people called him the Balloon Man, and his other nickname was Windbag. So I guess that means that he probably did fart quite a lot, by the sounds of it. I'm not too sure.
Wow.
I think I've seen a picture of this guy before.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It looks like a photo that you should have seen before. Like, it looks a bit like a classic photo.
Yeah.
So for the listeners, he's got like a black and white photo, and this dude's just sitting there with a massive gut. Looks like he's got a normal head, normal arms, and then just a massive, like, distended.
It kind of looks
abdomen.
like my mate's old boss.
I was going to say, you see people like this.
Plenty
like,
of geezers down the pubs in Essex look like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I
like
used to say this guy was pregnant with triplets. That's what I used to say. And he'd be like,
I've got fucking Hirschsprung's disease, mate.
Because he's like skinny everywhere else.
Yeah.
And like, it's just, the belly is like huge. But it also goes up to like his chest. Like it's stretching the skin so much.
It's been pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to send that to my mate and say, this is what your man had?
So eventually he was unable to move his bowels, and it eventually just caused this massive build-up of poop. I don't know whether once a month he was completely emptying himself. It sounds like probably not. Like every month you do like a shit, but then
it'd go down and it'd be normal.
Well, no, I don't think so. I think it was just like a shit could be anything. It could be like, a little pebble, or it could be a big shit. But he wasn't like emptying himself out. But eventually,
because you would shit and like 4 to 3 weeks ago of shit would come out, but you've still got the shit in there from this week and last week. Like it's not all going to come out at once. So you just constantly, like everything you're shitting out is like a month old, but you're not shitting out the entire month all at once.
No. God, imagine how relieving it would be. It would feel like to do a whole month's worth of shit in one go.
Well, have you ever like, I'm sure everyone has done this, where you must have eaten loads the day before, maybe like 2 days in a row of a lot of food, and then maybe in the morning you go and you have a shit and it's like a full size, like normal big one, and you're like, whoa, that was a big one. And then like no less than 4 or 5 hours later, you're like, I need to go shit again. And you go, and it's another like full, like it's not like a little one and a big one. It's like it's like just fully like, wow, that was 2 entire like days worth of shit in one go.
Yeah,
like, that was all
shit
in me.
like 3 times a day, almost every day, sometimes 4. And I'd say I shit twice in the morning every morning.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like grass and fucking mushroom tea you're drinking.
Impressive.
I feel like I've always done it. I don't know whether that's changed. I don't know.
Mine just depends on it does depend on what my diet's like. Like usually it's like once a day, but then if I'm like hitting a gym and eating loads of food, then it'll be like 3 times a day. That has happened for a while.
I'll tell you what, I think what's weird though, like, as regular as I am, if I like last week I went on a cycling trip, it like because I know I can't do that. I had a shit in the morning, and that's it. And then I maybe didn't shit again till the next day.
Just because you're comfortable at home, your body knows.
It's ready, yeah, it's ready.
When I get back from from work on the train sometimes, body knows. Once you're within like half an hour.
Oh, that's a classic. And then when you really need a shit in it, and then you get to the door and you almost shit yourself because it's like not yet.
Have I told you the story of one of my friends that I know and his story about shit having a bad stomach in Nepal?
You did tell us that before.
Okay,
yeah,
I've told that. It's a good story.
He was like. He was holding it in for like hours or something, right? Like just
7 hours or 6 hours.
Yeah, on a bus or something like that. And then like got there and
just shit all over the floor just by the toilet.
He's like, you're there, man. You're there.
So
well, Balloon Man, speaking of toilets, unfortunately, he met a tragic end. So So he only lived to be about 29 years old, and he was discovered dead in 1892 in the toilet. He died whilst trying to have a poo. Well, obviously in the bathroom.
Okay.
Bit like Elvis, you know, he'd obviously tried to push out a big one.
Is that true that Elvis died in the toilet? I always hear it. Like, is that
Apparently
actually a
so.
thing?
I think that's
Just
true.
had a heart attack whilst just happened to be in the toilet. Like, it wasn't related.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
I thought he was pushing.
He probably was pushing, but like I think he was also pushing too many calories and drugs into his body.
Yeah.
Oh, mama. Love it. So the interesting thing about Balloon Man...
An impression of Elvis dying while having a shit.
No one's done that impression before.
That is Curios.
That is proper Curio, that is. Yeah.
Oh, wait, is it Curio or Curios? I've already fucked up.
Curio,
okay. So the interesting thing about JW is that after he died, for some reason, his colon was extracted and preserved. And it was found.
I was wondering if that was just a stock photo, or if that was his photo.
Yeah, no, it's been preserved in the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia. But inside his colon, when they obviously took it out, they found 40 pounds of shit, which is like 18 kilograms of shit.
That's a lot.
What's an average shit weigh?
Don't know.
I reckon like half a kilo.
Yeah, max, maybe.
Crazy.
Probably less, reckon. Yeah, it can't be half a kilo, surely.
What does the average feces weigh?
For men.
Okay, yeah. Like the women shits.
Well, because I'm just going by what I know.
Average male feces.
Oh, yeah, it's way less than that.
I reckon it's like 200 to 300 grams.
104 grams.
104 grams?
Oh, yeah, this says 128.
Okay. God, 18 kilograms.
That's crazy.
And his colon was 8 feet long.
Wow.
How long? Well, I don't know. I don't know what the average colon. I can't compare.
Average colon length.
Because I know, like, to be honest, I don't really know
5 feet.
5 feet, and his was 8.
8 feet. Yeah.
Okay. Not as big of a ratio there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wait, he managed to fit like something like 50 times the average amount of poo in less than double the length of an average colon.
I guess your colon can stretch, right? So
yeah, because it didn't say how wide it was; it just said how long it was.
Well, it looks pretty wide. There's pictures of it on.
Yeah, but how wide is the average?
I guess that's
colon?
why he was ballooned.
Yeah, I guess so.
Full of shit.
Yeah,
that's why he was Balloon Man, Rob.
Yeah.
I want to go see. Where's that? Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia, yeah. I mean, it looks like a weird snake. I don't know what it's stuffed with. It's stuffed with something. It says straw and paper.
Oh.
I guess to make it still like have thickness, because otherwise it would just be like a shriveled bag. Maybe, I don't know.
I wish they kept his shit. They should have preserved his shit.
yeah. Well, like that Viking shit they found in York.
Yeah, that's good.
So I was interested after obviously reading this story. I wanted to find out what the largest human poo on record is.
Oh,
and I couldn't really find a definitive answer.
We haven't spoken about that. Surely,
well, that's the thing, because a lot of them they came up with that Viking poo, but I don't think it is. I don't think that is the actual biggest poo ever found. It's just maybe the biggest fossilized poo that's ever been found. And I found one vague reference to the largest human feces on record was reported in 1978, and it weighed approximately 1.2 kilograms.
1.2, damn.
Measuring about 60 centimetres, which is 24 inches in length.
That's long. 60 centimetres? No way.
That's mental.
That's 2 rulers. That's like...
Yeah.
That's crazy. Imagine that. I'd be so proud of that.
It's crazy. Also, did they can't have done it in the top. They must have known it was going to be a big boo, and like laid it out on the floor. How would you measure that? Because that's gone. That's most of the way around the U-bend.
That wouldn't just crest the water. That would crest the entire bowl, and possibly even like the threshold to your bathroom.
I mean, the problem would be in the Netherlands. I don't know whether you've seen in the Netherlands that some toilets they have a shelf
Oh yeah, little poo shelf.
We've got a poo shelf here. Yeah, it's awful. So if you do a massive shit, there's a danger of it touching your your little starfish.
Yeah, that's weird. That I need to see a picture of this, please.
Okay, I'll send you a photo after.
Send us a photo after. Yeah.
But do you want it filled or empty?
Up to you. You decide.
It's up to my discretion.
Dealer's choice.
Have you seen that photo of the nurse carrying the massive poo in like one of those hospital?
I have seen that. Yeah,
I always wondered
it's like a baby.
Yeah, I always wondered if that was real or not, and I think it is actually legit. Like Rob, it looks like the size of a baby in this.
Why is she carrying it? Like,
because I guess there's a patient.
I think they've just
done
extracted it. Yeah, like
extracted it,
like just delivered it. Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it. Nurse carrying shit in bedpan. Would it be a bedpan?
Yeah, I think so. It's like
nurse carrying.
It's like when you get a burger or a hot dog, but the bun's way too small. It doesn't fit in the bedpan at all.
I love her face. Are you looking at it, Rob?
Yeah, well, it says, okay, we've all seen this meme before and thought, yeah, that's a big poop. Well, yesterday, my patient pooped one to rival this. It was pretty impressive. Thankfully, it was in the toilet and not in a bedpan. Easy to clean up. That's someone. That's like someone who's shared it, but talking about the picture.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I'm looking at it. It's a nurse carrying it in like a bedpan, right?
Yeah, looking very worried.
Looking absolutely concerned. That's fucking Curios, that is, isn't it?
It's insane.
Wow.
Very smooth, isn't it?
Really smooth.
Yeah. What's the longest you've gone without having a shit?
Oh, not very long.
I've done like when I broke my collarbone, they gave me like whatever it was, opiates, whatever opiates they gave me afterwards, and that constipates you. And then they give you like Senecot or something, some sort of constipation reliever for like. I think they kind of said. I think they were sort of like, give it a couple of days. You're probably better off not having a shit, and then like after a bit, you're gonna have to. So start taking these. I think it was a good week.
Yeah,
yeah, and it was like, and they're basically. I think what they give you is like stool softeners because it's like you're gonna go eventually,
dries up,
and it's gonna be brutal. So like, take these to like soften it, and I don't remember it being. It must have been amazing, but like I can't remember. I guess I was pretty whacked out.
I've only done maybe 2 days over VFast when I was younger. I just couldn't shit in the
the long
portaloos and shit. Yeah. But I was also really dehydrated because I just stood by the front of one of the stages for like the whole day, both days, just not drinking any water. So I didn't really need to have a shit. So it's just like no moisture left inside my body. Yeah, that was only like 2 days, and that's probably a record for me. One of my friends used to go regularly, like 2 weeks without having a shit. That was just his normal rhythm.
I used to
Has he got this fucking problem?
No, but maybe, yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to. Like, I could go, not 2, but I reckon like a week, like pretty regularly. Like, I'd just not go.
That's crazy.
But then when the time came to shit, it was an ordeal. Like, it was like, yeah, it was like childbirth, I think. Like, it was so rough.
That can't be good for you, yeah.
No, and I remember like it'd be like 5 days, and my mum and dad would be like, "You need to poo, Tom." Like, and they would like make me eat bran flakes and this like medicine. I don't know. It must have been some weird laxative thing or whatever. It was this gross medicine. Yeah, it'd be like a week, like off. And I thought it was weird that people would poo every day. I'd be like, no way. Like, how have you got that much? Like, how have you got that much content in you? But, yeah, some people do. Well, everyone. Now I'm a daily kind of guy.
It's weird, like when you think about it, like doing a shit. Obviously, not now, but when we were cavemen, or like a couple of 100 years ago, or 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago. See, taking a shit is when you're the most vulnerable, apart from sleeping. You're open to attack then. So you would have thought that our like biology would mean that we would only shit once a week, for instance. That would be the norm.
Maybe we did as cavemen, and now that we got more relaxed, we can afford to shit
just shit whenever we want
twice a morning. Yeah. Well, I guess it says like maybe not I'm in danger, but like my body happily doesn't shit 3 times a day when I know I can't.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Apparently that's why dogs look at you when they're shitting, is because they know, they're like, have you got my back? Like they know they're vulnerable. Yeah.
Really? Is that true?
Yeah. Well, how they know that, I don't know. That's just some person guessing. But like, it checks out to me.
Yeah.
Makes
and
sense.
I bet if we didn't lock ourselves away and go in a different room, I bet if we were shitting out in the garden, I bet the dogs would keep an eye out for us. Like they would know. They'd be like, oh, okay, like let's keep an eye out. You know.
Well, we should try it. Yeah,
I'll
try
test
it.
that theory out. Yeah. She just come up and start licking me. Definitely try and eat my shit as well, I reckon. Yeah.
Speaking of testing out a theory, a few episodes ago, you said you gave us like a very vague reference to some sort of experiment that you was trying to get your housemate to do or one of your mates to do. I just want to know whether that's actually happening or whether it's just going to stay a mystery forever.
He's not fucking doing it, is he? Yeah. It was like a sleep thing. Tom sort of like loosely mentioned it once, and it was like there's like a movement of people of like they sleep. It's called something I can't remember. I have to look it up. I'll speak about it next episode because I might as well just speak about it because he ain't doing it.
Okay.
Hold that.
Wait, but yeah, give us a bit more.
It's just like a pattern of sleeping.
Okay.
That some people do, and I was going to try and get him to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll look it up, and I'll talk about it properly next.
Sounds like great content.
It's worth 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. How long would one need to do this experiment to like get?
I don't know. Yeah, we'll find out.
The results.
Are you tempted? Yeah. Now, when you become full-time man, maybe you could. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Actually, it's well a bit of you. Actually, it's well a bit of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got no obligations.
We'll take this offline.
Yeah. All right.
Shall I crack on with mine then? And we
go for it.
Yeah, that was it. That was Windbag, otherwise known as Balloon Man.
Spoke about shit enough this episode.
Yeah. This episode is dedicated.
It's all different on the Curio, isn't it? Yeah. R.I.P. Windbag. So mine is actually sent in from listener Push Up Paul.
Hey.
I say sent in. Out. We just happened to have been chatting the last couple of days, and I texted him saying, I was like, "You got any weird news stories for me? I need something." So yeah, shout out.
He sent me something as well.
He did send you something. He told me what he sent you, and I was like, "Fuck that Dutch prick, George." Those are my words.
Yeah. But I'll talk about that next episode whilst you talk about your sleeping.
Yeah. Well, maybe I won't because Tom might do it.
Well,
so mine is actually similar, reminiscent of the Heaven's Gate. It's a bit of a shout out to the old Heaven's Gate. Remember them in episode 34?
No, it was much earlier. It was like episode 2 or something.
Was it really? You were on it though,
like 1 or 2.
You're not on it, Tom?
No, I wasn't there for Heaven's Gate.
Tom. That was when I emailed them. They got scared.
Oh right, yeah, that was the early days of doing some like journalism. Got scared. So this is super weird, right? I'll read it out, and I've got a couple of different like articles that like about it. But this is probably that's your fucking huge shit thing again, right? This is probably the best written one. Yeah, okay. Actually, I'll read the news article from the time at the time. So, at least 100 members of a religious cult were missing in northern Colombia after they went to rendezvous with a UFO they believe would save them from the end of the world, relatives said on Thursday. My daughter told me she had to leave because a cataclysm was going to occur and that she had to go to a high place to meet extraterrestrials who would save them from the end of the world, said Andrea de Echenique, whose daughter, Maria Bernarda, is among the missing. The followers of the so-called Stella Maris Church, which described itself as a Gnostic organisation. Have you heard that?
No.
I guess it's similar to agnostic. Yeah, but I thought I'd mistyped agnostic. It's not. It's a Gnostic. So I guess agnostic comes from the Gnostic, opposite to
Gnostic. So if agnostic is admitting that you don't know or you're open to it, does Gnostic just mean like, nope, we know this is the truth?
Well, it's got a few different meanings. Apparently, it sort of means a loosely. So this is what Google says for one definition: a loosely organised religious and philosophical movement that flourished in the 1st and 2nd centuries. So it's kind of like a specific movement of religion. Right. And then later on in this article, he gives an explanation as well.
What? How are you spelling that?
Gnostic, so Gnostic. I guess it's pronounced Gnostic. It does mention it down here.
Oh shit!
Whoa, Gnostic. It sort of means
That's very Gnostic.
that was well Gnostic. It mentions it down here. The group member. No, it doesn't say no one. I'll probably get to it in a sec. But it means that it means a certain type of. I read another article actually. It read that it's like people that believe in the spiritual Jesus, but not the historical Jesus, is another definition of Gnostic. So I don't know. It's a weird phrase.
But it's your own personal Jesus.
Yeah, but there's certain groups. There's certain like culty groups that they say we are a Gnostic group. So it's like it's like an overarching term for these sort of type of culty things. I don't know why that. Yeah. Because the Stella Maris describes itself as a Gnostic organization headed out to the Sierra Nevada mountains in 2 groups on Friday and over the weekend. So this is actually from 1999, this article. Up until now, there have been no known reports of doomsday cults operating in Colombia. But in 1978, South America was the scene of the worst mass suicide ever, when more than 900 people of the People's Temple killed themselves in the Jonestown, Guyana. I didn't know that was in South America. Jonestown.
Yeah, in Guyana, isn't it? Is it in Guyana?
Yeah. Jonestown, Guyana, yeah. I just assumed it was America. Well, North America, I assumed.
I don't think I've ever heard of it, Jonestown. I've heard of Jamestown.
We'll talk about it.
Jonestown, yeah.
We'll talk about
Jonestown's like the classic.
Mental.
It's the first mass suicide in a cult.
But that's not the Heaven's Gate one, then?
Nah. This was wild. This was like kids and things and everything.
Yeah, it's
Is it Jonestown one that's got the famous picture of them all?
Yeah, all laying outside.
Yeah, in like a sort of pattern.
It's mental. We'll do an episode about it. Do a deep dive because it's a very good story.
Yeah,
there's a good documentary about it as well. Actually, I think.
I'm sure there have been plenty. Yeah. Cartagena police said, however, that no search operation had been mounted since there was no indication that the Stella Maris cult was planning mass suicide, or that any of the members had been forced to go along against their will. So basically, there was no like official record that they were going to die. It was just like we're just going for a walk. The leader of the group told them the world was going to end in August and that they had to go to the Sierra Nevada to meet some aliens, said Pedro Perez. 4 of his relatives are missing along with other cult members. Leader of a Gnostic group in Bogota said it did not have any links with the Stella Maris group, but heard reports of its belief. People had told us that certain practices of the Stella Maris group were fanatical and dogmatic. Over the last 2 years, they've been talking about meeting with UFOs, said Wilson Martinez, a Gnostic archbishop in Bogota. Martin said Gnostics believe in the spiritual but not the historical existence of Christ and look to free their souls with knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most like cliche cult ever. Oh, there's going to be a cataclysm, the world's going to end, but if you come out into the middle of nowhere, there'll be aliens that save you. Like that is the most...
It's pretty cult 101, isn't it? Yeah. But it's a weird one. The 2 leaders told my daughter Liana she was God's chosen one and made her change her name to Stella Maris to brainwash her. She was convinced she was going to make contact with flying saucers, said Maria Tovar. But others close to the Stella Maris group believe that its 100 or so members have simply gone into a routine spiritual retreat and accused relatives and the media of exaggerating the story. So that's how that ends, right? But they were never found.
It's weird.
And no remains of them were ever found. So there's another thing that talks a bit more about it.
How hard that looked.
Yeah, it says there was no missing persons thing like ever launched. Really, there was no like proper thing. But like, they basically went off into like the rainforest. So, you know, you might go missing there and never be found. But 100 people and no remains or no traces ever been found. So there's some people that say maybe it was a hoax, the whole thing, you know, the news at the time. But like the news kind of went dead, and there's no real like. You look it up, there's not tons of like articles on it.
Yeah.
So
when was it? The 90s.
1999. Yeah. So it's not like the news is now. You know, like they'd have a field day with that, wouldn't they? Just at least a week's worth of news articles sharing the same article. And it's funny. I found one BBC article on it. I must have closed it. It's annoying. It was so like an old school BBC website that loaded up. It was really interesting. I'll try and find.
Oh, it was like archived, like
it's like archive.net sort of thing. Just like loaded straight up.
I've got it here. I think.
Yeah.
It looks mental. It looks like CFAX.
Yeah, it does look like CFAX, doesn't it? Yeah. It says, at the time, there was a lot in the news about this mysterious group. So there's a lot about the group, I guess, in American news and stuff. A lot of news about this group, and they all became ever more obsessed with the idea that the cataclysm was upon us. They had to make preparations to leave aboard a spaceship with similarities to the infamous Heaven's Gate cult, not lost on anyone at all. Specifically, the Stella Maris Gnostic Church believed that 140,000 of the faithful from the world's population would be saved by aliens during the doomsday, and the rest would perish. So they went off and they had like this temple thing that they all lived in, and that was all just like eerily like abandoned. Apparently, there's like no signs of like, it's all just like they were going to come back, or they weren't. There was no like, it was just left, like they up and left. Yeah, and it's classic cult, charismatic leader. Some reckons he sort of conned people out of money and stuff like that. But so maybe he fucking killed them all, buried the bodies, and fucked off.
How many of them? 60 of them.
100 went off of him,
Oh.
like families and shit as well. The group made preparations. Their official statement was that they were going on an annual retreat near San Pedro, Colombia, in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Yet the leaked accounts pointed to them on a mission to actually go meet aliens in the wilderness in an area well known for its intense UFO activity. One day in July of 1999, it does say a group of 60 cult members, in some reports up to 100, many of them comprising whole families, reportedly headed off into dim wilderness, abandoning their facility in the process. After that, it seems like the entire group just vanished off the face of the earth. A search of the entire region turned up no sign of them, and a sweep of their facility showed it to be eerily devoid of any answers, sitting there untouched if someone would come home at any moment. There would be no further contact to their families and friends they'd left behind.
Curious.
So maybe they went. Maybe the aliens come and got them.
Yeah.
Maybe the aliens come and got them, and there was never going to be a doomsday. The aliens just wanted 100 people, and like for some reason had to pick them up from this certain site, and were like, get him here. Maybe he was one of the aliens all along.
Yeah.
Maybe all cult leaders are aliens.
They always say that they've been sent, don't they? A lot of times they're like just an alien or being used. Their body is like a vehicle.
A vessel.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. So they've not even tried to search them out here. Did they like search for them? And has there been searches recently? Or
no, doesn't say that there's like there was never like a huge search party sent out from. For some reason, I don't know. Maybe it's hard to find any articles that really say that like there was a massive search for them, or which makes it weirder, doesn't it? It makes it slightly more lean towards the whole thing being a hoax than anything. Like why are their families still today not, mysteriously wondering,
maybe there is like, because obviously this is so long ago, maybe there were, but it just wasn't reported in like English media. Like,
maybe.
Yeah. Search it in Colombian.
Otherwise known as Spanish.
Yeah.
Encyclopedia.com comes up if you search the Stella. Wow, and then there's a little article about it. Encyclopedia.com. It must be like Encarta.
How did they get beaten by Wikipedia? Like Encyclopedia.com, you'd think would have won that.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? It was a number of South American Gnostic sect groups founded in 1989 by Rodolfo Perez and former members of the Universal Christian Gnostic movement. Modern Gnosticism had emerged in the 19th century Europe from where it had been transferred to South America in the early 20th century, blah, blah, blah. The small group rose out of its obscurity and the larger occult milieu. So someone had complained to the authorities and asked them to remove their daughter. They did not respond. Then they went away, and they fucked off. Colombian papers carried stories that the group had departed from the Sierra Nevada mountains to meet a spaceship that would take them to another world. The story is given added credence by expectations of crazy actions by different groups as the millennium came to an end. The Sierra, many stop-flying saucer buffs believe the place to be where direct contact with extraterrestrials is possible. So the story is picked up by international wire surfers, carried worldwide, and tied to memories of the suicide of 39 members of Heaven's Gate. However, in 24 hours of the story breaking, Perez and several members of the group went on television, denied they had any interest in flying saucers, and said they returned to Cartagena as usual when their retreat was over. The retreat was taking place near San Pedro, Colombia, as the media had been informed some weeks previously. The leading newspaper had run the initial story without checking the facts and they had at hand. The follow-up story of the group was carried by the Colombian press, but no follow-up appeared in English language media for a a year when 14 Times broke the story of the hoax in May 2000 issue.
Case closed.
Well
done, boys.
You've been done.
Oh, well, that was an open and
Well,
shut.
actually, this isn't my topic. I was meant to do a quick fact check at the beginning of the episode. Do you remember only 3 weeks ago, we spoke about the Amazonian tribe that got Starlink and then became addicted to porn and social media?
Oh, yeah.
So the article basically said that it was like this tribe in the Amazon got Starlink, so now they've got the internet, and the tribe leaders say that all the kids are lazy and they don't want to come out. They're just flicking through TikTok, and they're all just addicted to porn. Like they've just like non-stop. Everyone's just like watching porn. And there has since been an article, basically. New York Times, who originally reported it, had to sort of like redact what they said because they made it up kind of, or like exaggerated. Basically they did get Starlink, and the tribe leaders, or like one of the elders of the tribe, said, yeah, like it has made them a little bit more lazy, like they are just sort of, you know, spending time watching things and maybe not going out to like get food and whatever we need to do. But the whole like, these people are addicted and now they're all watching porn, it was like kind of made up, basically.
Shit.
And
so what you're saying is we're issuing a formal apology to the
we are
Amazonian tribe
for spreading false news.
Yep.
And also formal apology to the Gnostic Church of Stella Maris for almost spreading false news.
Isn't that the name of a potato?
Stella Maris.
Statistically, probably, yeah.
I thought that was like a well-known Stella Maris. Oh no, Piper Maris.
Maris Piper.
Maris Piper.
No. I'm disappointed about that, though, actually.
Yeah, I'm sad about that. It made me go back on Heaven's Gate website.
Yeah, I actually read like I actually read a couple of articles beforehand as well. I thought, I've actually I've had a decent read on this one. Just a live discovery.
Well, you've done more investigation and push-up Paul. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for the topic, though.
Yeah, cheers, Paul. Much love. Fucking.
Now, my topic that I've brought is quite a recent one. This week, it was 2 days ago that it was originally reported. As of listening, it will be a few weeks. Do you guys remember? You might have seen this. Do you guys remember the Willy Wonka experience that sort of that did go viral, actually, on Twitter and everything, where it was advertised, come and pay for this Willy Wonka experience, and you're going to be like, you're going to come through the chocolate factory and there's going to be Oompa Loompas and everything. Be just like Willy Wonka. And then you show up and it was like a village hall and it was all creepy and just real cheap. Basically, the exact same thing has happened with a Bridgerton ball. So I haven't watched Bridgerton.
It's a period drama thing, right?
Period drama, yeah. I think there's loads of like sex in it. But that's all I know is that people, it's set in like probably Victorian times. I don't know. Didn't do much research, but it was advertised similarly to the Willy Wonka thing, where it was meant to be a glamorous affair with ballroom dancing and music, similar to that enjoyed by the members of Regency High Society in the hit series. But it's since gone viral on social media as attendees complained it was a scam with cheap decor, undercooked food, and just a stripper for entertainment. And it's a similar kind of thing. I'll put some articles in the chat. Annoyingly, the Daily Mail article is the one that has like the most pictures and stuff on it. But there's like a picture there where you can see it is just a hall. So it was in Detroit, and tickets ranged from about $150 to $2,000 for this evening of sophistication. And they were greeted by
actually a stripper.
Yeah, dollar store decorations, disposable plates, and a lone violinist instead of the grand orchestra that was promised. So, yeah, people paid extra to get like luxury food, and it was like a buffet, and the food was not very well prepared, undercooked. They said there was meant to be an orchestra. It was just one person with a violin, like in the corner. There was no one like checking like tickets on the doors or anything. You just like walked in, and there was just a load of people. Like, obviously, I guess no one's really going to show up like just to some random hall, but you'd expect there to be like a grand sort of thing on the outside. It was literally just walking into like I don't know, just a venue where they would probably host people's 50th birthday parties and bar mitzvahs and all that kind of shit. But people were dressed up. People had spent like a lot of money on like these gowns and suits and stuff to go to this Bridgerton night. And yeah, it's just a scam.
Wow.
I don't think it's as bad as the Willy Wonka one.
No, it's not quite as shite, is it? Because it's in America, so at least it looks like they paid more money.
Oh yeah, I think the Willy Wonka one was like 30 quid or something. Like,
loads, is it?
Yeah, so you haven't lost out too much. People paid a lot of money for this.
Why did you pay a lot of money for that anyway? I don't get it. Maybe I'm just a miserable old man. But
a lot of like these like experiences that people pay for, I think a lot of it just comes down to like how good does it look when you post it on Instagram. Like there's so many experiences that I'll see on our Instagram that I get advertised for, and clearly it's purely just set up for you to get like a great Instagram story or like a post on Instagram of like went to a Bridgerton ball, and then it, you know, you look like you're back in Victorian times, and
just more for like influencers and shit.
I'm sure there's loads of people that do enjoy it, like also enjoy it and aren't in it just for Instagram.
I'm sure there's something good, yeah. I found a picture of him here, and they're just like a lot of people like sat around on the floor in like ball gowns,
literally just sitting on the floor, flicking, like scrolling on their phone.
Yeah, because there's like
we should do a Curio event. We could scam people.
So there was. It says here, unfortunately, some non-refundable deposits from the original bookings resulted in losses on our end, which added to the challenges. Oh, is that the organizer talking?
What they're trying to say, yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were saying they didn't have.
I wish there was more photos.
Yeah. Our goal was to create a magical evening, but we recognised that organisational challenges and unforeseen changes, including last-minute venue and date change, impacted the experience for some guests.
It looks fucking shy. It looks kind of like a like, I love how it's just like bright lights as well. Like it's just not like lit in any way.
Yeah, they've just got the big light on.
And the main lights are just on in this hall. It looks so...
That would actually make quite a bit of a difference.
Yeah, it would make a huge difference. And people trying to make the most of it still as well. Like you can see in the clip on that thing where there's like some people still dancing, like having a ball. He's like, oh, well. I mean, look, even in the background of that picture where there's people in the background like ballroom dancing, like trying to do thing.
They said there'd be a bar for for people 21 and up. There was only juice at the bar, no alcohol, poorly decorated, and the Queen was a ghetto mess, unprofessional.
I'm going to send a screenshot of this bit as well. This is like the clip with the stripper and like that shit DJ booth in the background on this massive stage.
Rob, have you ever performed at a wedding that was like so badly like organised and decorated, like it just looked a bit sad, like these kind of venues?
Nah, not really actually. Generally they're pretty good. I can't say I've had any that have been bad.
I guess
actually,
if you're paying out for a band, and you're probably like paying out for
if it's a wedding that we're going to be at, it's probably going to be a good one.
If you're going to go for a band that has the best lighting of any function band in south of England, then
100%,
you know,
100%,
you ain't skimping.
No, you fucking ain't.
Didn't want to play at my wedding though, did you? Fucking hell,
mate, you couldn't afford me. I'm going to put it in the group chat because I can't put it in there. But that is my student loan debt. You don't want to see that.
That's my next topic. Actually, is your student loan debt.
I'm failing hard. I can't do it. Don't worry. But it's just like a really dodgy. If you go to 19 seconds, you can see it. It's just like the fucking DJ booth in the background, which is just like a real. I know that DJ booth as well. That's not an expensive. Like it's just like your standard small contained. When it's on, it looks like it's on a massive stage, and then there's just the stripper and like some woman in a probably quite expensive, well thought out ball gown standing in the background looking at him. Let me try and do it again.
Says the servers had dirty gloves and hours line for shit food. Air France has better food for my economy seat in the back, she wrote.
Yeah, there's the clip.
Okay, you would be so pissed off, wouldn't you, if you paid a lot of money?
Yeah, you'd be fucking mortified.
Oh, apparently they were standing in the rain before being let inside as well, like because they were, I guess, delayed, like setting up the venue or something. You know, all those decorations.
At what point do you reckon they realised that like this is just going to be a disaster? Like,
yeah, well, it must feel like that. Like when you watch that fire thing, and it's like they knew it was shit, and they just decided to go anyway. Yeah, they must have all been stood around going, "Are we going to fucking open this? Like, are you sure?
Yeah.
There would have been someone going, "We've got to issue refunds. This is fucking shit, lads. We've got to." Like, and there'd be other people going, "Man, keep the money. Fuck it. No, we've got to do it now. We've got to do it now. They're all here. They're coming. They're outside. There's people tweeting about it. Like, people are like, fuck."
Yeah, or like they've already spent the money on what, like say there was like a venue change, they've already spent the money on a venue, and then something happens. Now they've spent on another venue, and then
so we can't afford refunds.
They've been like, "Fuck, we have to like get the cheapest." Why is there strippers though? I don't get that.
Yeah, whose idea was that?
I know like Bridgerton, I think it's meant to be like a bit sultry, but like I don't think
she doesn't even look like she's in, period dress, or it's just.
I don't think so.
Rob, she's in period undress. That's shit. It does say as well that she was hired just hours before the event.
Oh,
so
right,
that was like a last minute.
Like,
yeah, must have just found someone.
Also, something I've just noticed as well, like how massive that hall is, the tiny speaker they've got on stage.
It's got like, they're playing out like a little Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah. Playlist Bridgerton. Hit play.
So I've just seen here that there's a picture of, I suppose there's like some queen or something, obviously someone playing a queen. It says that apparently the actress was just trying to get people to follow her Instagram and stuff, like whilst in character. And it says here that a TikTok user recounted how the queen greeted him by saying, "What up, though?" It's not very period, like Regency period, is it?
I don't really get this article does contradict itself a couple times. I mean, it is the Daily Mail and they are sourcing TikTokers. But it says allegedly one of those allegedly injured is a woman who says she fell due to overcrowding and sustained a cut which required a tetanus shot as there were no medical staff on site to help her. I don't know how she fell from overcrowding because every single one of these photos, it is direly empty. Like there's not one shot here that has more than like 7 people.
It sounds like a classic American trying to get a claim.
I also don't understand how I've just found a different article and it's a different stripper, I swear.
Yeah, somewhere buried in here it says they did hire 2 strippers.
That's a different stripper.
Yeah, so I guess they took turns.
That's hilarious. You know what we'll need, Gav? Better get a second one just in case.
Yeah, it says that the food just wasn't being served quick enough. Everyone was getting so hungry and there was people with diabetes that needed food. So a lot of people just ended up across the road at the local Domino's. I guess it was the only food they could get.
They couldn't even hire like a decent PA system and just like played some ball music, turn the lights down. Like there's so many little things you could do that just make it like so much better.
Yeah, like you say, the lights would just make literally just like
lights on is just
candles on the table.
Yeah,
and like turn the lights down.
Yeah, tickets are priced up to $1,000. No way did someone pay £1,000 for that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think the headline says 2,000, but then
it says later on tickets priced from 150 to 1,000.
Yeah, and it says Yeah, so minimum 150, and it says up to 1,000 for the Duke and Duchess option.
Ooh.
Which is supposed to come with dinner, orchestra music, a professional dance card, don't know what that is, professional photos, and a valet.
I'd say that is worse than the Willy Wonka experience, considering the price.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
pound for pound, what you got is way worse. Yeah,
because I'm looking back at the Willy Wonka one now, and I mean it is shit, but at least there's like some props. There's a few props. You're paying 30 quid. You get a little glass of juice or something, and then a couple of sweets. At least you've not paid like $1,500.
Yeah.
So I think this is worse than the Willy Wonka one. The Willy Wonka one is more memeable, but this is shitter.
And the fact that they've always said it, all attendees looked absolutely decked out. There was zero direction, so they've all gone there proper in their ball gowns. Some people probably spent money to hire or buy ball gowns for it.
Oh, yeah.
We essentially followed the crowd to the third floor where we saw local freaking vendors, in capitals it says, selling goods like we were at a local festival. After seeing people sit on the floor in disappointment, my wife and I left.
Well, I mean, supporting local business is good.
Yeah, give them that. I guess that it's not a sit-down meal like they thought it would be a Bridgerton ball.
No.
It's just someone selling kebabs.
Love it.
Okay. That brings us to the end of episode 110 of the Curio podcast.
Whoa.
Wow.
I thought it was just Curio.
Well, it is. It will just be Curio, but that also means it is the Curio podcast.
Can't keep up with all this lingo.
The P wasn't a big P.
What?
When you search it on all favourite podcast platforms, you just search Curio.
Right? Curio.
Okay.
Yeah. But
okay.
so like it wasn't a capitalized P on podcast.
Yeah.
The name isn't the Curio podcast.
So it's Curio brackets podcast.
No. Only if you were distinguishing it from a different type of curio, like the word curio, or
the concept of a curio.
Yep. Or if there is another medium of entertainment out there called Curio, the magazine Curio.
Are you sure there's not already Curio? Like, have we checked there's no copyright infringement on Curio?
I don't think there's any copyright infringement. There are some other podcasts, like there's actually a few already called Curio, but they haven't uploaded for like years. Like they're dead podcasts.
Okay.
They're not as good. We'll show up first.
They're not as good as us. Fucking hell.
I know.
Jesus.
Yeah, one of them's not even English.
Whoa.
Oh, that's like,
so how can anyone listen to that?
It's true.
You won't know what's going on.
Okay, well, I'm excited for this new era.
Yeah, buzzing.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Let us
joining
know what you
us.
think.
Yeah.
Write in the comments. The email address is still Curioscast, I realise. Curioscast@gmail.com. We'll sort that out. You can actually comment on Spotify. Test that out, because no one's commented on Spotify yet. They've got comments underneath.
Didn't know that.
So leave us a comment.
And a review. Review the new Curio cast.
Hype on the rhythm.
Oh yeah, I think our reviews will probably stay, so it'll just be renaming it. But give us a 5-star review anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Episode 110 of Curio.